Hi, I'm Mr. Franklin, and this is the explanation video for our vocabulary assignment. So each week you're going to get a vocabulary assignment for this week and next week. It's going to be the same words, but the purpose is to learn words that have specific meaning in physics and are essential to the course. We want you as a student to have the outcome of being able to use the words to think through and understand science and solve problems. The difficulty with vocabulary is knowing that there are words we use in everyday English, like speed and velocity, and oftentimes we think they mean the same thing, and they are not the same thing. And so the difference between those two words is very important. So your expectation is you got to know the word and you got to know its scientific definition. And you need to know those really without thinking about it. So if I tell you velocity and I tell you speed, you already know what the difference is and I don't have to explain it to you, okay? That's how well you need to know the words. You also need to understand other representations of the word. So velocity, for example, is often represented by the letter V, or a variable, and it's also represented by units, a unit of measurement, miles per hour, meters per second. You need to know those connections. So that's part of your vocabulary study. Specifics are important. You can't just get close enough. Oh, that's good enough, because velocity, the definition, often sounds very similar to acceleration's definition, and they are not the same thing. So specifics are very, very important. What our assignment is not. We are not focusing on the everyday meaning, even though you should understand the difference between what the everyday meaning of some of these words are. You should also not plan on looking up these words later, as in, I'm taking a test, I'll just look it up while I'm taking the test. If you do that, I promise you, you will not do very well. You've got to know the words, and the faster you can learn the words, the better you will do in this course. Some ways to study. We are going to provide you with a Quizlet, but you are welcome to make your own Kahoot Quizlet for yourself, because that's one way that I would study, is by actually making the thing. You can make flashcards, or you can make a single piece of paper that you can fold and use to study. To help you do that, here is a picture of the first Quizlet we've made, and you can click through it in Canvas, and it will show you how to do the vocabulary. We've given you the vocabulary word list. Okay, if you click on that link, it'll take you to the word list and it'll have all the words with all the definitions for you to learn. You can then practice the Kahoot Quizlet that we've given you. You may make your own flashcards or foldable. If you want to know how to make the foldable, if you click on this link, I walk you through how to make a 10-word vocabulary foldable, which works for this first unit. I also have a second video with pictures that represent each of the words with an explanation. So you might watch that just to learn maybe what the words mean. But you must study the words. That's a requirement. You must study. So how many times have you played through this Quizlet? We want to know. If it's just one, write down one. If it's 10 times, awesome. Write down 10 times. Okay? What words are you having trouble with? So if, for example, you are getting confused between quantitative and qualitative, write that down here. And I, as a teacher, have done this enough where I can maybe give you some hints on how to remember the difference between those words. And sometimes the things I come up with are silly and have nothing to do with science. They're just memory tricks to help you remember things. And sometimes it's a scientific explanation. So please write that down and explain what you don't understand. And then what is your study plan? I'm going to review the Quizlet one time every day. I'm going to review it 2 times a day. I'm going to make flashcards and I'm going to do this, but write down your plan and then stick to it. If you do these things, you will be very successful with vocabulary. And I promise you, if you are successful with our vocabulary, you will do well in this course. So that's all I've got for you. If you have any questions, please contact your teacher, and thank you.